we're together.
This video will have slight spoilers in a way, but nothing too major. If you would like to wait to watch the video till after you've played the game, then by all means, please wait. I would like for you to have a spoiler-free, enjoyable experience when you do play Kingdom Hearts 3. If you're fine with seeing the other worlds in the game and a certain Keyblade, then by all means go ahead and watch the video, because that's as far as spoiler content as there will be. So, if you're fine with all that, please continue to watch the video. Now for the video, there's been controversy as to how the game is and how it's good and bad. But as a gamer and a lover of the Kingdom Hearts series, and I mean a serious Kingdom Hearts fan, Kingdom Hearts is by far my favorite game series. I'm going to be telling you my thoughts and opinions on the game as to why I think the game is really good. And if you're one of the people whose first game is Kingdom Hearts 3 and you haven't played a single of the other titles, then I'm sorry, but your opinion doesn't matter, because you can't really have an opinion on how good the game is when you haven't really played the others. So you can compare it to how good the others are and how good this game is. But now then, is Kingdom Hearts 3 good or is it bad? And for me, I would have to say it's really good. And this isn't because of the Kingdom Hearts hype or because I love the game and the series. I genuinely like the game. I mean, sure, it's by far almost everyone's most awaited game, and we all had high expectations, but for the most part, I would say Square Enix delivered and met a lot of people's expectations. First thing I want to talk about is the graphics. Kingdom Hearts 3 was supposed to be released forever ago, and when it was close to being finished at the time, Square Enix decided to use the Unreal 4 engine, which is used in games like Unreal Tournament, the newer Final Fantasy games, and some MMORPGs like Sword Art Online. If you look from the previous Kingdom Hearts games, you'll see the graphics aren't exactly the best, but they aren't bad. They're really good for titles being on the PS2, the DS, the 3DS, and for the newer PS4 for the Unreal Engine they used. The graphics have really developed and gradually got better and better. And we all thought that whenever Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2.5 came to the PS4, that it was the most crisp graphics we'll ever see in Kingdom Hearts. And then we got 2.8 and Kingdom Hearts 3, and it was absolutely jaw-dropping. The graphics used in Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage, and from Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key back cover was the first time we saw the Unreal Engine used for Kingdom Hearts, and now seeing it in Kingdom Hearts 3, the graphics really don't disappoint. The second thing I want to talk about is the gameplay. The gameplay for Kingdom Hearts has always been really good, especially for the main titles like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. I'm not even going to include Kingdom Hearts Re-Enchanted Memories because it didn't even have really like a fighting style like the rest of them. It was mainly like a card-based fighting system, which I'm not going to lie, I didn't like it. And some people did like the card-based system, but I wasn't really a fan of it. However, the storyline, the plot for Kingdom Hearts Re-Enchanted Memories was really amazing. If they used like the Kingdom Hearts 1 fighting system and like gradually did a little bit more to it, then Kingdom Hearts Re-Enchanted Memories would probably be one of my favorite Kingdom Hearts games. Okay, so Kingdom Hearts 3 brings multiple things from the previous Kingdom Hearts titles, like the fighting system and summons in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, the floaty feeling and the transformations and shot locks in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, the flow motion system from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, and the new magic system and situation command system from Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, all added to Kingdom Hearts 3 and with a little bit more to it. In Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora moves way faster than the previous titles, and with all the previous upgrade systems and styles from the other titles added to it, it makes the gameplay seem really crisp, not to mention other things added to it, like a buff system for eating meals by Remy from Ratatouille, but also adding Grand Magic, which is a system for whenever you use things like Thunder or Thundaga, it'll upgrade into the next little upgraded magic. So it's really crisp and really good because it does like more enhanced magic. Keyblade transformations, that is across from dry forms in Kingdom Hearts 2 and transformations in Birth by Sleep. Kind of like how in Birth by Sleep, whenever you would attack, it would sort of give you this ability to change, and you'll have different attack style patterns and everything else. But it also has different dry forms, like from Kingdom Hearts 2. Things like magic, more of a power, guard, and just different abilities like that. Or if you're using the ultimate weapon, then you're probably going to be OP. They also added attraction flow rides, which are attacks from attraction rides from Disney. Overall, the gameplay, anyways, in Kingdom Hearts 3 is on a really high scale and pretty amazing, if I do have to say so myself. The third point is music. Square Enix always goes all out when it comes to the music. The music in Disney worlds usually match the environment. Then whenever you get into battle, the music sort of changes into a more upbeat sort of change. As for the original music, I can honestly say everyone loves the original music, especially original music from Utada Hikaru. Her songs like Simple and Clean and Sanctuary are songs that nobody can ever possibly forget. If you've played the original games and original titles and the previous Kingdom Hearts games, you'll know that it's in almost every single Kingdom Hearts game. And if you've played some of the games, you'll know that Square Enix also have original music based off the organization and things from Final Fantasy, different things like that. Utada Hikaru's songs like Simple and Clean and the originals, but you can't even forget the Simple and Clean remix from 0.2 and songs like Don't Think Twice and Face Your Fears in Kingdom Hearts 3. Everyone, and I mean everyone, loves these music or these songs from Utada Hikaru because she's like one of the original music makers, I guess you could say, or she has her own part in Kingdom Hearts, and she always will. But I can't even forget the ballads in Kingdom Hearts, especially the title screen Dearly Beloved. It really moves people, and even people make remixes off of them because the music is just that amazing. Not to mention the music added in Kingdom Hearts 3 is just as good, especially the music based off the original worlds and Square Enix based. It's definitely something everyone enjoys. The fourth point I want to talk about is the worlds. The worlds in Kingdom Hearts has always been, areas split up into like enemies, treasure, or safe areas where you can talk to characters and NPCs or even find save points. And save points, of course, they let you save your game and they give you a little break before you get into battle from the next area. There's been occasionally titles where you have to revisit other worlds, but however in Kingdom Hearts 3 the worlds are rather huge and close to being an open world. Of course the game isn't open world, but the worlds aren't really closed enough to where it gives you that little split off area like the previous games. The worlds are pretty big and it gives you that little open world feeling. But compared to the other titles, this game is rather huge. And as we learned from Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep: A Fragmentary Passage, it was basically a snippet from Kingdom Hearts 3 to show players what to expect from the game when it releases. And it was said that the whole game in Kingdom Hearts 2 or Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep is a span of one whole world in Kingdom Hearts 3, meaning that if you really played Kingdom Hearts 0.2, then the whole world would be like Kingdom Hearts 3 will take 2 to 3 hours to beat before you can really move on to the next world. I really enjoy these huge worlds. I know a lot of people did, and it was nice to see them change how they created them, because comparing from Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 and then playing Kingdom Hearts 3, the worlds are rather expansive and really huge compared to the other games. Lastly, the last point I want to talk about is the story. And I won't have any spoilers in here, so don't worry. But I'm sure if you got this far, then you're probably not worried about the spoilers. But as you know, Kingdom Hearts 3 is the 10th title in the Kingdom Hearts franchise, not counting remixes like 1.5 and 2.5, or 1.5 and 2.5. If you've played the other games, then you know that we've been waiting for the long-awaited Kingdom Hearts 3 for years. And I'm sure we can both agree that the story did not and will not disappoint. In the story, you see a couple returning worlds like Twilight Town, Olympus, and the Caribbean, as well as newer worlds that are just now coming, which is all for Sora to complete his mission given to him by Master Yi and Sid, and preparing for the Keyblade War. You see multiple people make a return, whether it's people from the light side, or the organization, or the dark side. You see a bunch of characters make their return, which gives you that little bit of nostalgia whenever you play the game. You get more nostalgia whenever you play the other games because you think back to the previous games. In Kingdom Hearts 3, the story is split into two sections: the Disney worlds while preparing for the Keyblade War and the Keyblade War. And second section hits every Kingdom Hearts fans with emotions and excitement. Trust me, when part 2 hit, I was an emotional train wreck, screaming, and there were other times when I couldn't stop crying, I'll be honest. And I know the other Kingdom Hearts fans in the community shared the exact same experience and emotions. The story is well placed and thought of, but there's one thing I can agree on, and that's how the game ends. I won't spoil anything, but I can agree the ending is hard to comprehend, not only because it's hard to understand, but based off the scenes we were shown and how it happens and also how it ends. I don't think the ending was bad. I thought it was really good, but I think we all had higher expectations for the ending than what we received, and based off what we see for Sora's next journey, I can see and agree as to why Square Enix ended the game the way they did. Even though the death of the character is a little aggravating and sad, it gives more room for them for another title and the story that leads on after, which isn't a bad thing either. And what we see from the ending, the epilogue, and the secret ending, even though it gives us some explanation as to questions we had, it also gives us answers and a lot more questions, and is kind of somewhat vague, but you'll understand whenever you play the game, unless it's your first Kingdom Hearts game. Then of course you won't have any idea who the characters are, or the most important parts, or who returned, or why some people are hyped and some parts are sad and kind of emotional. But you also won't understand the vagueness and the most important parts in the ending. Like, for example, whenever you watch the ending, you'll see that a certain person is revealed as to his true nature and who he really is. You won't understand really why that's important. So if this is your first Kingdom Hearts game, then I'm sorry, but I don't think you can really say you hate the game, or at least the storyline. I know some people said that the storyline was trash, even though they've never played the other previous games. So in my opinion, you can't really say that the way the game is thought of and played and everything is really bad, considering you've never played the other titles. So what gives you the right to say that it's trash and all the others will be trash too? Like, it doesn't really give you the right to say it. But I can kind of get the way and the feeling why the community feels the way it does to the other people who are just now starting Kingdom Hearts 3, because I can kind of understand that. Now then, even though these are reasons as to why the game is really amazing, the game isn't perfect. Like, for example, even on Proud Mode, which is the hardest difficulty in the game so far, the game is fairly easy. A little too easy. The Keyblade transformations and Thundaga are OP. Thundaza is beyond OP. Have any problems facing enemies? Thundaga. Some douche is telling you Kingdom Hearts 3 is trash? Thundaga. Like, you can usually use Thundaga to get out of any situation in Kingdom Hearts 3. Sora's combos are at god tier, and the enemies don't really do a lot of damage. If you're level 99, a single shadow and other enemies that attack you will barely even take your HP down at all. The attraction flow rides are OP and broken, and once you beat the game, there's really nothing more for you to do unless you want to get a certain OP Keyblade, play the gummy ship, look for all the treasures, complete all the meals or all the lucky emblems, but even at that, it'll take you at the most 3 or 4 days to complete it all. There's really nothing for you to do after you've done all that and you've completed the game. But I will say that there's been things released saying that Kingdom Hearts 3 will get DLCs, and there will be a huge DLC at the end of the year, but there will be like free updates and stuff coming. Should be around April, I think. But because Sora is too OP, it's not really fun to go through the worlds and play when Thungaga wipes everything out and Sora can 3-hit everything. However, even still, with all these things wrong, I'd like to think the game is really good, and the good definitely outweighs the bad. So, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure from the rest of the Kingdom Hearts community, I would say this game is definitely overall beyond amazing. But that's my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. What do you think about the game? Do you like it or do you hate it? And if so, why? Explain in the comment section down below. But that's been the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and I will see you guys in the next video, whatever it is, whenever I make it. It has been your boy, it's Sora. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.